Hello and welcome to this Cloud Solution Architect series. In this, we will be talking about something related to multi-cloud or single cloud. In many different scenarios, being a cloud solution architect, you may be working on a single, very specific cloud, or sometime you might be responsible for designing something which involves multiple cloud. When I talk about multiple cloud, it could be either public cloud or a SaaS solution, or it could be on premises. So imagine that being a solution architect, you have to basically marry all together to run a business in a more hybrid kind of scenario. That's what multi-cloud could be translated into in this context. However, when you work on a specific thing like a single public cloud, you basically are expected to be an SME on that public cloud, understand the overall progress, understand what is coming up in that specific public cloud's roadmap in future, follow the industry conferences done by that public cloud so that you are up to date, read out the announcement blogs which are basically done by the engineering team before any official documentation comes into play. So all these things are part of your daily activity. It is like reading the newspaper. So you need to read about that public cloud in more frequent manner to understand how things are moving. You might also be involved into multiple cloud, but then it is very difficult for one person to really go deeper into each of these clouds. But you need to understand what fits well where. So what is the equivalent kind of service if you are talking about three clouds in three of them, right? What is the equivalent of a storage in all three clouds? What is the equivalent of a virtual machine in all three clouds, right? They might call it out in different names. So you need to be aware of those terminologies, right? And then definitely doing a hands-on will give you much more confidence about how the console looks like, what kind of infrastructure as code you might be using, etc. Right? So that's what the multi-cloud cloud solution architect really dives deeper into it. And then sometime you find people doing certifications in multiple different public clouds just to make sure that they have a thorough understanding of that specific cloud offering, right? So it helps in a more systematic study. And then the most important thing, because we have so much of choices for our application to deploy, being cloud native helps you stay grounded. Because then you do not have to really worry about changing the cloud at one given point in time. So industries are changing fast, companies are taking quick decisions. So if you work in an enterprise scenario today, and if that enterprise have decided to, let's say, use a cloud, and then they come out want to exit that cloud sometime later, you might need to actually move your application. But if you build it in a more cloud native way, including all the cloud native technology, making sure that the architecture you are proposing and designing works anywhere, then it becomes easier for you to shift things from one location to another. Now, by saying cloud native, it's not just about container or Kubernetes. It could be even, let's say, solutions which runs on top of your application, like open telemetry, which is collecting the log from your application. Use open telemetry because nowadays open telemetry is being supported by most of the cloud providers to collect the log. So think from that perspective. How can you bring in more and more cloud native component into your solution? With this, I want to end here and thank you very much for watching.